The burning of the effigy was the final straw for Nagasaki, and that led to this matchup that we have here tonight, Nagasaki's first in-ring appearance for over a decade in six-man elimination tag team action.
These are dangerous days.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to LDN Capital TV, the only British wrestling show on television anywhere in the world today. And what an hour of wrestling we have got for you this week tonight. A legendary feud that has raged over 20 years will be settled tonight in six-man tag team action. My name is John Atkins, and I am here to call the action as the team of Robbie Brookside, as you see there on your screen, teams up with Phil Powers and the LDN British champion Yorgos Christopoulos to face the team of Gregory, Cortez, Blondie, Barratt, and of course the legendary Kendo. Nagasaki. Fans, this war has raged for close to a quarter of a decade, a quarter of a century even, and tonight here at the Thurrock Civic Hall in Grays, it'll be settled, it'll come to a conclusion, and we will find out what's going to happen very shortly. Let us head down to the ring for the announcement from our ring announcer Steve Litton of Nagasaki's team. Atmosphere here at the Thurrock Civic Hall, one of intense anticipation. Fans wondering really what they can expect here tonight. No doubt about it, we have got six of the best wrestlers in the world in that ring, but my goodness, what is going to go down? Kendo Nagasaki himself retired many years ago, and I believe this is his first wrestling appearance in close to a decade. The man, the myth, well, certainly the myth and the legend of Nagasaki, absolutely ageless, timeless. But the man himself, will he be able to go? Will he be able to dominate the ring as he did over a quarter of a century ago? We will find out very soon. Certainly the mystique, absolutely as large as it has ever been. But will the man himself be able to deliver where it counts in the squared circle? Take a look at that. An iconic image in British wrestling history. And you are seeing it here this week on LDN Capital TV. That man is going to get in the ring and wrestle six-man tag team action. Nagasaki teaming with a fellow World of Sport era legend, Blondie Barratt. A relative newcomer to the game, Gregory Cortez, and there we see, just behind the man himself, Atlantis Kronos Goth. And fans, this one is going to be something else, I can tell you. Absolutely stunning image there. Words cannot do it justice. And you see the team there of Yorgos, Powers and Brookside. They're all smiles on the way out, but when they are confronted with the legend of Nagasaki, those smiles disappear pretty quickly. And I can tell you the atmosphere in the building, it really is verging on indescribable. The man Nagasaki has such a presence about him, such an aura.
Welcome, disciples of Kendo Nagasaki. And from the rest of the uninitiated unfortunates, I require silence. We have come here today to settle a blood feud. Lloyd Ryan claims that he has dedicated his career to ending Kendo Nagasaki and myself. And Robbie Brookside has burned an image of Kendo Nagasaki and insulted our great persona. We would gladly end all this treachery and insolence with one match, but where is Lloyd Ryan? Where is Damian Ryan? Brookside, it seems your old allies are cowards and they have deserted you. But why do you think you can change the contract? You know very well that we, under the terms of the contract, must approve your team. And we do not approve of you parachuting in this inappropriate substitute.
He's the champion of LDN, for your information.
We do not approve him, and we will not carry out this match as long as he is in the ring. We suggest that you go and find an alternative selection of wrestlers from which we will choose your team.
Not a popular announcement there from Kronos Goth.
What is that ridiculous thing?
This is the British heavyweight.
It means nothing. It means nothing. You are out of here.
Well, I certainly don't agree with the sentiments of Goth there. Yorgos Christopoulos, the LDN British champion, he is holding the most important belt in British wrestling.
Brookside, you will lose by default if you do not do this. The contract stands. We must approve your team. That man must go. And we must approve our replacement.
Exactly.
Well, it looks like Brookside and Powers don't have a choice. If they want to get their hands on Nagasaki,
had this been in any other situation, I would have definitely told you where to go and shove it. However, you are correct with the statement that this is a blood feud. This is something that has lasted 20 odd years. And I, in front of these people, as well as Phil Powers, and in front of the LDN champion, I'm not going to walk away from this. So if you're making stipulations, I'll show you where you can stick your stipulations.
We are timing you, Brookside. Get to move on.
Robbie, where are you going? Robbie.
well, Yorgos Christopoulos all set to wrestle here tonight in six-man tag team action. However, as per the stipulations of the contract drawn up by Nagasaki and Goth, they had to approve of the partner, and indeed they did not approve of Yorgos. And so it looks like Robbie Brookside and Phil Powers have gone back to the LDN locker rooms to find a partner that Goth will approve of.
Rounding up the troops.
And here they come now with a bunch of great guys from the LDN locker room. There's David DeVille, Hakan, Travis, Jason, Sweet Sensation. Take your pick, Atlantis.
Jason, eh?
Who is this fellow?
This would be a great opportunity for any one of these guys. A chance to step into the ring with a true legend and earn a main event payday. Nagasaki casting his eye over the youngsters. Who will they choose?
We choose him.
Well, the sword of Nagasaki pointed directly at Hakan there.
He will complete your team. That is our requirement.
They have chosen Hakan. Hakan will team with Powers and Brookside tonight. And quite frankly, fans, this is going to be the biggest match of this young lad's life. But I am sure he will make the most of this opportunity. Hakan, a recent graduate of the LDN Wrestling Academy. And I would say he has pretty much performed almost exclusively in tag team competition since appearing on Capital TV.
Now all the losers are on the same side. Which brings me to the ceremony contact with his ancestors, and they and he requires complete silence from the audience and the participants.
The ceremony of the salt, a traditional ritual in all Kendo Nagasaki matches since the start of his career over 40 years ago.
The ceremony will not take place until we have complete silence.
Atlantis Kraskoff demanding silence. I don't think she's going to receive it. However, until the ceremony has been performed, Nagasaki simply will not wrestle. A traditional ceremonial ritual picked up from Japan. And indeed a sacred ritual as well.
These are dangerous days.
And now with the ceremony completed.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very special six-man tag team contest. 2 falls, 2 submissions, or a knockout to decide the winners. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first the team coming from my left and out to the red corner. Introducing first, Hakan. Phil Powers. And ladies and gentlemen, Liverpool's own Robbie Brookside. Ladies and gentlemen, their opponents on my right coming out to the blue corner, accompanied of course by Atlantis North. Introducing first, Gregory, Cortez. Please welcome from Sheffield, Blondie, Barratt. And, ladies and gentlemen, the legendary male superstar, the one and only, Kendo, Nagasaki. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there are special stipulations in this contest. If a man from either team is pinned, he must immediately leave the ring area and return to the dressing room. He cannot stay within the vicinity of the ring. Do you both understand both teams? Okay.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. 6-man tag team action, 2 falls to decide the winner, and elimination rules. And it looks like Goth and Nagasaki still unhappy about something. And there we see the glove removed. I believe at the insistence of referee Chris Roberts and Brookside's team. And Nagasaki not happy about that by any means. He's very rarely seen in public without the glove and never without the mask. Nonetheless, it comes off here tonight on LDN Capital TV. And take a look at that. What a gruesome spectacle.
Okay, you all know the rules, yeah? 2 out of 3 falls. When a member of a team is pinned, you leave the ringside area. All happens in the rules.
Get the woman out of the ring!
But they are the rules of the contest.
Referee Chris Roberts reiterating the rules of the contest. 2 falls
The ringside area.
elimination rules. And indeed, should a wrestler be eliminated from the match, they will have to leave the ringside area as well. They will not be permitted to stay within the vicinity of the ring. Who is going to start out on this match? It looks like Blondie Barratt volunteering to start for his side. And I know that is going to infuriate Brookside and Powers and Hakan as well, because they cannot wait to get their hands on Kendo Nagasaki. But it looks like actually Cortez is starting. And so Brookside leaving the ring, and it looks like Phil Powers will start as well. There's the bell. Powers versus Cortez in this 6-man elimination contest. A blood feud that has raged for over 20 years. And Cortez tagging in Barratt, and Barratt will start for his team. And Powers looks to be in great shape. Shades of the late, great Frank Gorshin. Collar and elbow tie up into the ropes. And Powers lands hard, but bounces straight back up. As we have heard, this match has raged close to a quarter of a century. It was over 20 years ago that Robbie Brookside was hypnotized in the middle of the ring against his will by Kendo Nagasaki. And Nagasaki hypnotized him, forcing him to turn on his own tag team partner, William Regal. Brookside has never forgotten that incident. And then just late last year in Bath at an LDN event, Nagasaki hypnotized Phil Powers in a match against Brookside, causing Powers to turn on Brookside. And many friends of Phil Powers have said he has never been the same since that unpleasant incident. So it's a very personal match indeed for Powers and for Brookside. And indeed, we have all seen the footage here on Capital TV of Brookside burning an effigy of Kendo Nagasaki. Very powerful imagery indeed. And it shows just how personal this war has become. We, of course, saw Nagasaki's return to wrestling late last year at Legends Showdown. However, he did not compete in the ring. Powers out wrestling Gregory Cortez, a man we know almost nothing about. In comes Brookside. Cortez in trouble. He is tied up. Nice takedown there from Brookside. Holds on to the left arm. He's got a wrist lock perfectly applied, bending back the fingers. And just twisting that joint in ways it wasn't meant to be twisted. Blind tag there to Powers. Powers off the top rope. Comes down hard on the arm. And Cortez, the least experienced member of Nagasaki's team, now faces Hakan, that may be the least experienced wrestler in the match. Quick tags there from Brookside's team, in and out. And the only person still to enter the contest officially, Kendo Nagasaki. The man has not wrestled for over a decade. We will see him wrestle here tonight on LDN Capital TV. Kick to the face from Brookside. And Gregory Cortez just hung out to dry on the top turnbuckle. Finally able to free himself. But he will be shaken. The blood will have gone to his head. And Powers able to capitalize on that. Again, a very powerful personal contest for Powers and Brookside. They are looking to eliminate whoever they have to. so that they can get their hands on Nagasaki. If that means taking out Cortez first, that's what they're going to do. Isolate the youngest man in the team, eliminate the weakest link. Double takedown. Couldn't get the cover. In comes Blondie Barratt. And Barratt doesn't fare well either. And we have seen this so many times from Brookside. He has put away many men. Here's a cover. And he gets it. And Cortez is eliminated early on in this six-man bout. And the first fall goes to Brookside's team.
The team of Hakan, Phil Powers and Robbie, Brookside.
And that is a great start. Take a look at the replay. Cortez hung out to dry on the top turnbuckle. Thrown across the ring by Brookside. There's the cover. Nagasaki on the outside. Couldn't break up the fall in time. And Cortez eliminated early to give Brookside, Powers and Hakan the 3-on-2 advantage. But still, Nagasaki yet to enter the contest.
These are dangerous days.
Comes in, comes out of the corner, takes a European uppercut, and a tag to Phil Powers. And of course, Powers and Brookside, they may just pin Blondie Barratt, but that would mean they would win the match 2 falls to nothing without Nagasaki ever entering the ring, and I know they would not want to do that. I think this is as much about revenge for Nagasaki and Brookside as it is about winning a wrestling match. Oh, Nagasaki on the outside getting physically involved for the first time. Big elbow there from Barratt, and now Powers being choked out on the middle rope by Nagasaki. And Nagasaki with the ringside bell. Nagasaki with the ringside bell just walloped Phil Powers on the skull. Bashed him in the noggin with the bell. But Powers with a back body drop on Barratt. Powers waits for Barratt to get up before planting with a big drop kick. Tags in Hakan. Barratt backs off. Hakan comes off the top with a high-risk maneuver, but it doesn't pay off on that occasion. Barratt now with the advantage, a big scoop slam on Hakan. And with Cortez out of the picture, Hakan very much the least experienced wrestler in the match. And that was exactly as Nagasaki and Goth planned. And Nagasaki now in the ring for the first time in a decade. The first time in a decade, the legend of Nagasaki. But my goodness. And he has thrown Hakan to the outside. He just threw Hakan clean over the top rope. And his power slammed him on the ringside table. I can't believe this. He is picking up the table. And he's just slammed it over the head of Hakan. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. And he smashed the chair. Steve Linton can't believe what he is seeing. Kendo Nagasaki beating up a man, I dare say, less than half his age. Powers now coming to the outside to check on Hakan. But my goodness, what a vicious, brutal display there by Kendo Nagasaki. Love him or hate him, that man is a legend. And he absolutely destroyed. He destroyed Hakan. Take a look at the replay. Power slam on the table. Picked up the chair and just bashed Hakan senseless. Pure, unbridled violence here on Capital TV.
Get him out, Kendo, out of the corner.
Nagasaki absolutely dominating the youngster. And you can see he has removed one of the ringside turnbuckle covers. And I'm sure he'll be looking forward to taking advantage of that later in the contest. Sends out Hakan again to the outside, straight over the top rope. And this time Hakan missing the table and landing on the hard wooden floor. And Fowler on the outside, continuing the onslaught. Brookside and Powers coming round to help out their tag team partner, and referee Chris Roberts preventing them from doing so. But while Roberts has got his handful, Barratt back on the outside, just tossing Hakan back into the ring, literally throwing him back to the walls.
Come on!
The arms are hooked. Oh my goodness, a double underarm suplex. And a cover, a pinfall there from Kendo Nagasaki. And Hakan now eliminated. And it's one fall apiece. Take a look at this, a double underarm suplex. Unbelievable agility there from Nagasaki. Cortez and Hakan now both eliminated. And for all intents and purposes, this is a straight-up tag team match, and Brookside still desperate to get his hands on Nagasaki.
Come on, Robbie, get back! Let's go!
And Nagasaki just toying with Brookside, just teasing him. He knows how keen Brookside is, and he is not gonna walk into that with his eyes closed. But he might just be brought in the hard way. Brookside brings him in over the top, and he is going to take off the mask. He is going to take off that mask. We are going to get a good look at Nagasaki here on Capital TV without the mask, but he can't get it off. The legendary mask. We have only seen Kendo Nagasaki without the mask a handful of times over the last 30 or 40 years. Very few men have ever taken the mask off. And very few men have ever seen him without the mask. But Brookside finally in the ring with Nagasaki, the man who has made his life a misery over the last 20 years. But fans, that mask means so much to Nagasaki. I was in the building 7 hours ago when Nagasaki arrived. There was nobody else in the building but me and the ring crew. And fans, Nagasaki was still in full ceremonial dress. He still had the mask on. There was no one in the building except me and the ring crew. And Nagasaki was still flanked by his entourage. Still in the mask. Still with the sword. The man is Kendo Nagasaki. So for Robbie Brookside to attempt to unmask him here tonight, that would be a major upset for Nagasaki and a real landmark moment in LDN wrestling history. And a low blow there from Nagasaki finally causes Brookside to back off somewhat, but I believe he received a public warning for that low blow. He received a public warning for the low blow. It might have cost him a public warning, but at least he held on to the mask. A big back body drop, but it took out the referee. Brookside with a back body drop on Nagasaki. But Nagasaki landed hard on Chris Roberts. And this tag team matchup has degenerated. And do my eyes deceive me? I believe Nagasaki just hypnotized Powers. Nagasaki hypnotized Phil Powers. Powers knocked out his own man. And then Nagasaki threw salt in the eyes of Phil Powers. It all happened in the blink of an eye. But Kendo Nagasaki hypnotized filthy Phil Powers. Powers took out his own man, Brookside. And now the referee is back up. And that is it. That is it. Nagasaki wins. Take a look at this. Barratt to the outside. Nagasaki hypnotizes Phil Powers. Throws a big fistful of salt in his face. Brookside on the outside. Powers out for the count. 1, 2, 3, and your winners, Blondie, Barratt, and the legend that is Kendo Nagasaki. And Phil Powers still writhing from the salt in his eyes. Well, Nagasaki scored a big win here tonight. He proved he can still go. But as far as the blood war is concerned, I'm not so sure that anything was settled at all. Nagasaki hypnotized Phil Powers for the second time in less than 12 months. He caused Powers to turn on his own man. Powers knocked out Robbie Brookside, sent him to the outside. And then Nagasaki threw that powerful salt in the eyes. Powers still writhing in agony from that assault. Brookside's back up and he can't believe what has just happened. Once again, Nagasaki has dodged Robbie Brookside. Nagasaki walking away with the win, but this one is far from over. Far from over.
Put that music just for 1 minute. For those who do know, that fraud, that absolute piece of garbage has tormented my life for the best part of 25 years. Nagasaki, you might be your little copping cohorts and your little drummer boy there, Blondie Barratt. But tonight, yet again, you proved you're not a legend. You are the lowest of the low. Sanjay, I don't know how we're going to do this, but now it's me calling the shots. Now it's me who wants stipulations. I want Phil Powers without salt in his eyes. I want Barratt, Nagasaki, and hair. I want the three of them, the two of us. Anything goes. You don't even have to bring the cameras, and we will kick the living shit out of you.
Brookside, yet more bitterness from a loser. You consistently lose against Kendo Nagasaki. You have done for 20 years, and you always will. Kendo Nagasaki will always get the better of you. Get used to that.
Well, Robbie Brookside sending out a direct message to the LDN promoter, Mr. Bagger. Brookside now is calling the shots.
If you can walk away and go and look at yourself in the dressing room mirror, then fair play. But I know that you can't, because this match tonight was a default. You ripped us up, you ripped them up, you ripped him up, and you ripped the referee up. Rip up, rip up, rip up, rip up, rip up, rip up, rip up. I don't care if the television cameras are on or not. I've been coming here since 1982. I wrestled Johnny Kendo, and I will come back until 2032 until I get what you, him, and I deserve.
Brookside not going to take this lying down, and who can blame him? What a match we have seen here this week on Capital TV. Incredible six-man elimination tag team action. But at the end of the night, the winner was Kendo Nagasaki. Have we seen the last of this blood feud, this 20-year war? I don't think we have, fans. We are just about out of time, but we will see you next week right here on Capital.